Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Dr. Ivan Ho, who is here on behalf of his dental practice. Well, Dr. Ho, thank you again for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing great, Lisa. Thank you. And thanks for having me again. It's good to be back.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, off camera, we talked a little bit about some of your services, and we look forward to hearing more about those going forward. Today, I think it's great to talk about what we look for in a dentist. There are a lot of dentists out there, and what would identify with our residents an important factor to know about the dentists.
That's a great question. I'm very familiar with it, with the unique needs of residents in Laguna Woods. I've been here for, 31 years, is serving Laguna Woods in Southern Orange County. And my parents actually just purchased a place and we'll be moving in soon. So I'm very excited for them. I feel that the seniors or residents of Laguna Woods want what most average, honest citizens want is a fair, a knowledgeable dentist that does superior work at a fair and honest price and an honest answer.
Right. And dentistry can be expensive. And if you don't have insurance, which possibly some of the residents here do not, out-of-pocket prices, especially for crowns, can be pretty costly, huh?
It's all relative, Lisa, but yes, the overall people do rate dentistry as the expensive side, yes. And we do have a service to help residents. My parents, for example, they do not have dental insurance. They've been retired for a while. And I have a new technology. It's an intraoral scanner, which you scan the prep tooth instead of taking the gooey impressions, and we can mill it right here in-house the same day, which, for lack of a better term, cuts out the middleman. So therefore that saves some money there.
Oh, okay. That's a great idea. As I mentioned, I think to you earlier, that my brother is also a dentist up in Santa Barbara. And so, he has one of those too. And I really think that it's helpful because not only does it save you time, but you're right, it does cut out that middleman so you don't have to pay the extra person to make that crown. Now, one thing that I know you have talked about before is that residents of Laguna Woods Village are on a fixed income. Any retired person's on a fixed income. So when it comes to really planning out their dental care, what do you suggest that they do?
Ask for several options. There's always several ways to treat a mouth. So there's also the ideal, the middle road, which is always a good road, or the temporary road that we can lead to something more permanent in the future.
Mm-hmm. So in the case of, let's say they had a tooth pulled some time ago and then they never replaced it, what would they do?
Depends on how much your teeth have moved, which almost guaranteed 100%. The mouth changes, the body changes, teeth has movement. The best way to replace a missing tooth are something fixed like an implant versus a removable denture made out of acrylic with hooks and metal.
Implants, I've talked to a couple of other people about implants, and I think I'm still a little confused about how implants actually work. So you tell me just briefly kind of an overview of what the process is.
Sure, Lisa, I'd be happy to. But when a patient has a tooth missing, the bone starts to resorb. And that's one main advantage of having implants too. It maintains the bone. Bone is grown under stress, such as when you're chewing or mastication. The force of the tooth, the chewing, transferred down into the bone, therefore maintains bone. But once your tooth and root is gone, the bone starts to atrophy. So a dental implant, for lack of better terms, like a screw that's screwed into the bone, made out of titanium usually, or now they make them out of ceramic as well. And once a screw has integrated into the body, which takes a few months to be ideal, then we put a crown on top of that, and it acts like a normal tooth.
So what would happen if so are you saying that if somebody's bone atrophied, you can still later put in an implant, or what actually has to happen?
That is correct. There will be an extra procedure called bone grafting, where we actually grow bone.
Wow.
So
Where do you get the bone from?
Good question. There's the idea, the golden standard is called the autologous bone, which is from the donor, will be from the patient themselves. Depends on how much bone, Sometimes we get a block from the opposite side of the jaw or the symphysis, or most of the time we just get donor bone. We just pick it off the shelf and put it on there.
Just pick it off the shelf.
Yes.
If that sounds creepy or not. But hey man, whatever you guys do behind those doors, we don't want to know.
Funny, Lisa.
No, that's great that you have those capabilities. I think that's wonderful. Now, what happens in the case of somebody who is ill and maybe they have rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, COPD? What are some of those things that is happening? Is something happening in their mouth to contribute to some of those problems? Or is it the other way around?
I'm glad you asked. Many evidence have actually proven fact that many of the disease, just a systemic disease, starts from the oral cavity. Very important to maintain healthy gums and teeth. Gum disease, which most Americans have, about 80%, attributes to many of those. Actually, I have a cheat sheet listed: Alzheimer, dementia, diabetes, pancreatic cancer, COPD, bronchitis, just to name a few, directly related to those. So having a healthy oral mouth or healthy teeth are very important, especially the gums.
So do you recommend that our residents get checked once a year, twice a year? What's usually the going idea?
It's really funny. Most people think going to your dentist twice a year, but do you know where that came from? Not from a dentist or not from a dental society. It came from advertisement from toothpaste. See your dentist regularly twice a year. And that's where that came from.
Oh.
Is that amazing?
That is amazing. We all thought that. But you know what? I don't think my insurance pays for 2 times a year.
I mean, unfortunately, sometimes the insurance company does dictate how often the patient comes. But everyone is different. Twice a year or every 6 months is a good average time. Some may require more. Some actually may require a little less. But things happen in the mouth, and just like any health issues, the early detection, early prevention is always the best. So twice a year is a good general recommendation on my part.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for the information. I appreciate it. And the next time that we get together, let's talk about how you make that crown.
I would love to. Thank you. Has that been 10 minutes already? Boy, that went by
10 minutes. I know it goes by fast, but thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And we'll be right back after this.